It was Mahatma Gandhi who described poverty as the worst of violence. And so it does appear that the entire humanity has inflicted the worst of violence on an 80-year-plus Mrs. Fubi Umunna, the frail-looking, fragile, feeble, and sick, malnourished old woman, lost her husband in 2004, and ever since life has never been the same. Approaching her home located at the serene Umabali, Umaka community in Okwa West local government, what confronts the visitor is a loose zinc and wood hanging down from the rooftop, endangering one's life in the event of a wind adventure. Her accommodation is a 5-bedroom and parlor building, estimated to have been constructed in the 70s. It is now decrepit, defaced, collapsed, and unfit for human habitation. The roof has given way in some of the rooms, and the constant pounding of rain invading the structure risks its eventual collapse. What represents a bedroom for Mrs. Fubi Umunna contains 2 iron beds, which bases are supported with wood on which she lies. Her entire wares are found on a bag lying on one of the beds, with some clothes littered thereon, while others are hanging loosely on the iron hands of the other bed. The top of the room has given way and it's open to the heavens. The old woman is now relocated to have her rest and sleep on a mattress dropped on the floor of the parlor, which is the safest place in the entire structure that could shield her from the vagaries of weather. Some parts of the ceiling of the sitting room have also given way. The foam on which the woman lays her body are old, shrinked in size, chopping off, uncovered, and dirty. The entire structure boasts of leaking roofs everywhere, broken ceilings, rickety and disused furniture seats. Her convenience is a pit toilet, which was reconstructed in November 2023 and is barely covered to hide her nakedness. The building is bounded on all corners by bushes and farms, but relatively speaking, the compound is kept wearing a clean look. The only support that has kept the old woman alive is drawn from her only child and daughter, Peace Nwakama, married to the neighboring Owaza community in the same local government. Narrating her ordeals, the matriarch affirmed that her daughter, who brings her food on daily basis, is her only source of survival, as she also attends to her hospital needs, providing necessary medication. According to her, the only other support she secures comes from the pastor of the local Redeemed Church, who visits her on occasion. In response to a question on the whereabouts of the immediate family relations of the husband and her home of birth, and if she is in good relationship with all, she volunteered that she is not quarreling with anyone.
I don't want to do it. I didn't come when I went. I didn't come. I didn't go and I live. I didn't come. I didn't have no to. My day. Mam needing her, Mam Nataka.
Umunegi kwano eba murugi before God Lord. Umunegi, and one na be address again. Aside from her poor accommodation, which exposes her to serious health and other hazards, the aged woman is also seriously challenged health-wise. She is suffering from what she called ukwara umoku, otherwise known as asthma. Ahụ na-acha gị ọkụ, eh? Ahụ na-acha gị ọkụ, ị na-enwe ume ọkụ.
Ume ọkụ wo.
Ị na-agakwa n'ụlọ ọgwụ, a na-akpọkwa gị aga ụlọ ọgwụ?
Ha aga ụlọ ọgwụ. Ọ dịghị ebe ọgọ m. Aṅụta aka Igbo aka Bekee. Mekwere ọgụ ala ebe ha tọrọ ya ka ebe m kwere. Ọ gaala ebe ahụ. Anata ọgwụ.
It's also clear that her situation, occasioned by poor funding, will not allow her obtain adequate treatment. Her powerhouse, which is her daughter, is also challenged, grappling with her unemployed husband and 4 kids and barely surviving on farm work. When asked on what her greatest challenge is at the moment, Fubi Umunna broke down emotionally.
Oh, so lamau. Lamau. Oh, come here. Now we can't go hard. Lena, I'll be there. I'll be hard away. I buy she bear. Oh, good on. ha zụrụ zinc ha na-awa ọchịchị ya duke ya dị mba ofokọtacha ọ dịghịkwa ebe a nwere ha enwe.
Kedụkwa ihe ọzọ ị chọrọ?
Lekwana ma ezere m ọgwụ mụrụ m ahụ ma aṅụtụkwa ka unu ụmụ ekweghị m chikwere m n'ụtụtụ m apụta jee tọkwana ọhụ ụlọ m ahụ ụlọ mmanụ mara agwụ ha Chineke zitere unu bịa.
While many of us drive in our Porsche cars, live in the state-of-the-art mansions, and eat exotic foods flying around the world, some others, like our abandoned matriarch, live in the open at the mercy of harsh weather conditions that is worsening her asthmatic indisposition. According to Leo Buscaglia, too often we underestimate the power of touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. If Omona has been enjoying any of the above, her situation would not have degenerated to what we are narrating now. Where is our humanity, one is tempted to ask. The overwhelmed poor widow, alongside the daughter, have cried out to the world for relief to overcome their present challenges.
Hola, what I mean, now I saw 1 bundle of zinc. So mas ka m were ya mechitugodi ya, but ifufere abịara na ka mmiri abido na abịara bukatacha ihe niile ma silim everything butushie. So amamota nwere ike ime ọ wụrụ Chineke metọ ha aka n'obi ndị ụwa ha nyere ya aka enyere m aka ya nwe ike nọtụkwara m ogologo ndụ ama na Chineke na-eme but ama na Chineke kpọtakwara unu Chineke ga-emetụkwa ndị ka ha aka n'obi.
According to Deuteronomy 13:11, for the poor will never cease from the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall open your hands wide to your brother, to your poor, and your needy in your land. In hearkening to their cries and in response to the biblical injunction, the Chief Executive Officer of Universal Heritage Television Niger, Mr. Aku Obidimma, popularly known as Abdul, gave a modest sum of 50,000 naira to the widow on behalf of himself and his team. Ihe niile ọnọdụ gị otu ihe si dịrị anyị wụ ndị ụlọ ọrụ Universal Heritage Television Niger, anyị nọ n'Owerri. Onye isi anyị wụ Akụ Obidimma, aha ọzọ eji mara ya wụ Abdul. Ọ sị na aha ya na aha ndị ọrụ ụlọ ọrụ ya wụ Universal Heritage Television na na-enye gị 50,000 naira ka iji nyere onwe gị aka. 50,000 naira na a ga-ejikwa ụlọ ọrụ ya gbasa ozi ka ụwa niile na ndị obodo ka ha nwee ike ndị o metụrụ n'obi bịanyere gị aka. Dịka ndị Igbo anyị na-asị onye aghala nwanne ya, anyị na-asị gidigidi ugwu eze, n'ọwụ ihe dị na omenala Igbo na onye nọ na mmekpa ahụ nwanne ya nyere ya aka. So anyị ga-enyere gị aka n'ikwusa ọnọdụ gị ka ndị o metụrụ n'obi jisi ike nyere gị aka. So anyị nyere gị 50,000 na gị ji nyere aka.
Jizọs unu mma dịka unu chetara m, dịka Jizọs kpọrọ unu unu bịa hụ m, onye eluigwe debe unu, onye eluigwe ma unu mma, onye nkụzi ụzọ unu ya ga-werere m ndụ gbadịle.
Ama m ndị unu wụbata amaara na Chineke butere unu, na-asị Chineke ya gọzie unu nwa bịara nga, gọzie ezinụlọ unu, gọzie onye isi ọrụ unu, gọzie ndị niile tiri aka ka unu nwee ike bịaruo ebe a, ka ha ara Chineke gọzichara m unu n'otu n'otu n'aha Jizọs. Amen.
A First Bank number 313-558-3806, bearing Peace Nwakama, was also provided by the daughter to receive any support from magnanimous donors.
Bank ebe na-edete ego nwụ First Bank, account number nwụ 313-5583806. Peace Nwakama Peace.
So ị na-ekwe anyị nkwenye maka ọbụla bịara na ị ga-eji ya letakwa mama gị otu isi na-agbalị.
Yes, sir.
Universal Heritage Television has also promised to link up anyone who may be desirous of visiting the widow. In the words of legendary South African leader Nelson Mandela, overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It is an act of justice. It is the protection of a fundamental human right, the right to dignity and a decent life. Poverty is not natural, quote and unquote. We call on the Abia State Governor and her political leaders, the State and National Assembly legislators representing Okwa West local government, the council chairman, and indeed all people and organizations with milk of kindness to rise to give life to a dying soul. Again, we call on the Ohaneze Igbo to create a welfare unit in its fold that will cater for situations of this nature. The Igbo philosophy of Onyagala Nwanne Onunube Nwanne Agbalonso should be activated in this case to bear golden fruits. Whatever you do for one, you do for yourself. Mrs. Fubi Omona should not be allowed to die a miserable death. Afam Echi, reporting for Universal Heritage Television Niger.